They take so damn long to release a video nowadays. When people say ERB crossed the line, I am so tired of the characters at one point talking about their flow, rapping ability, rhyming, or whatever. It just gets so fucking annoying after a while. Why the fuck did ERB make a rap battle for Sponge Out of Water? They inspired Princess rap battles.
Relationship rookie wants to rap about romance. You can't fall in love after just one dance. My prince saved my life, and don't be misled. I want a man in the street, but a beast in the bed.
What's the connection between these two? Also, there's no subtitles. And it's only weird because the rest of them do.
Man, it looks like Chewbacca wiped his ass on your head.
The thumbnail. There's no behind the scenes on this battle. That's probably what they said when they were owned by Disney. When you realize Hitler made their channel popular. The thumbnail. This battle is literally just Chuck Norris memes.
You block bullets with your beer, I catch up with my skull.
Is that supposed to be a flex?
Your voice sounds like a rooster having sex with a frog.
The fuck?
Everything you do is just a rerun of Madonna. Your fans are in a frenzy like a bunch of geepers.
Why do the piranhas have to be gay? Maybe it's just because I don't know much about Lady Gaga, but where are these trans jokes coming from? The only explanation I can think of is that it's a reference to Nice Peter cross-dressing as a woman. But even then, there didn't need to be more than one joke about it. Hulk Hogan's costume. Why is this the only rap battle to get remade?
She'll hold you hostage like Laura Ling. Brother, I'll leg drop your ass back to me.
How are you going to do that with a move that sole purpose is to prevent your opponent from moving?
Because my voice is incredible and your music is terrible. Who even listens to classical anyway?
Who the fuck listens to your music?
I got Kim Kardashian in my bed bags.
How is a Kardashian a flex for anyone?
Are you gonna battle? I invented hip hop.
Why is this his voice? What is this? No, seriously, what are you doing? This just looks awkward. So, Gandalf vs. Dumbledore was apparently their most requested battle at the time, and they did nothing with it. The backgrounds are pretty basic, the lyrics are kind of forgettable, the beat is just okay, and it's really short.
You cook you? I bet you wrote the Twilight books too.
You're the one who partially inspired them. So thanks for that, you stupid cunt. Errors. Oh my fucking god. And I thought the Easter Bunny's voice was annoying.
Mr. T talking about Bill Cosby wanting his sweaters back. Mr. Rogers wore those sweaters about 20 years before Bill Cosby was even on TV, man. So that spit's invalid. And also about the kids on his lap, Mr. Rogers was outspoken in every way by all the people who knew him as being one of the kindest and most tender people. You know, he'd never hurt a fly, and he was a vegetarian, and he accepted anyone and everyone no matter who they were, and he always ended it with "God loves you no matter who you are," and that's why I think he's a great person.
Do we seriously need 2 references to the Wrath of Khan in just one season?
I can tell you're scared just from the body language I'm reading. You should start leaving. Look, your hairline's already
At
retreating.
least he had hair.
The battles were your idea to start with, that's no lie. But I'm the one who had the brains to let a midget play the bad guy.
I wouldn't really consider Lloyd to be a midget.
You look like a thumb. Where'd you even come from?
You look like a thumb.
What am I supposed to put on my channel?
How about you make music, Peter? You know, like you used to.
Okay.
Channel would then be inactive. Hitler vs. Vader Part 2 is one of the first times where it's really obvious that they are trying to make one of the characters win. Now, it might not be as forced as it was in Trump vs. Hillary, but it's still noticeable. I get why Hitler vs. Vader gets a trilogy, but why not do this idea with other battles? I mean, there are some that are just begging to get a sequel.
Shooters! Your armor's hard, but my abs are hard!
Holy shit! He broke a vase with his chest?
My hood now, Chief! This is Sparta! He said it! He said it! I've been better battles with my 6-year-old son!
I didn't need to, or want to, see Lloyd in a diaper.
I don't need firepower when I'm rocking these guns!
You do know they have guns out there, right?
I don't need firepower when I'm rocking these guns!
But they have guns.
You should eat something anyway. Look at you, so skinny.
There are two flaws with this line. First, Luigi shouldn't be talking, since he's also incredibly skinny. And two, while the Wright brothers may be too skinny, his brother Mario is oftentimes depicted as a fat ass, making it a really easy reversal. Irony.
Let me just step right in.
Rude.
And every a hole in the middle of your pony head with your own little spin of big ball.
Should you really be the one talking when you had the infamous Red Ring of Death?
A man uses the machines you build to sit down and pay his taxes. A man uses the machines I build to listen to the Beatles while he relaxes.
How is that a flex?
Oh, and now that we're on the topic, console wars are stupid. They were back then, and they still are now. They're game consoles, not a cult.
What was the point of epic dance battles of history? If they were to do it for one full season, then it would have made a little bit more sense. But it just felt random for what battles would have it. Why does Freddie Mercury get all these special effects and references to Queen, while all Sinatra gets is a basic as fuck background?
So again, Frank Sinatra was very, very ahead of his time. And they do a nod to that in Frank's second verse. He was very against things like segregation. He wouldn't play at clubs that had any sort of racial or discriminating undertones. He just ignored them. He was a very progressive dude, especially for his day. So I just never understood that these would be the blows. I'm like, I get the insults are there. Great. I'm not saying they're bad disses. It just doesn't make sense from who they're coming from. So it's always been a weird thing for me. I like the disses, don't get me wrong. It just, I'm like, why would Sinatra say that? There's so much else that Sinatra could say.
Why couldn't have ERB been this balanced with the other presidential battles? They have Abraham Lincoln diss both candidates, as well as smack both of them. They're actually aware of both candidates' flaws, and overall, they weren't biased.
And the power invested in me by the giant Volkswagen. The president shall not be the shiniest of two turds.
Bullshit. When you realize the person who goes second ends up winning the actual election. Does anyone else find it weird that this is their most viewed video, but not their most viewed BTS? You would think it would be the same thing there. It's not even in their top 10 most viewed videos. ERB better start stepping up their game, because their clone channels have managed to kick their ass several times.
Really, never mind. Let's just say there's an infinite number of me simultaneously kicking your ass with rhyme.
Great Scott, you're great. Not. Spit it hard.
Like, he starts with a not joke. Like, that might make more sense if Back to the Future came out in the 90s when that was the big joke. Back to the Future came out in the 80s, and that wasn't even a joke yet. Like, there's no frame of reference to start this with a not joke. This mistreatment of Doc Brown is shameful.
People actually think that this battle's problematic because of the Asian race jokes. 1. They had an Asian actor on set. So even if you don't like these type of jokes, Micah Diva was fine with them. And 2. These racial stereotypes are quite old, and when you really think about them, aren't that offensive. I'm also wondering how many of these people who are getting offended are even Asian.
I'm actually terrible at Asian accents, ironically enough. Lloyd and Peter had to coach me on how to sound more Asian.
I had nothing to do with it.
That makes no sense.
Look, I don't mind Batman's voice, but some of these lines are just painful to listen to.
Nice hat, dork. You look like a duck. You jump, I kick punks like you up the streets, while you and Velma here solving Scooby-Doo mystery.
Irony.
Nothing makes me laugh, but I bet your raps can, so bring it on, bitch. smelled of guano and pain. Holmes, explain. I deduce this deuce stain is Bruce.
No shit. You don't have to be a fucking detective to figure that out, dumbass.
Yes, his wealth would allow this adversary of ours to afford the toys he needs. Since he has no superpower.
That's not really a diss. He's still able to kick ass regardless.
You're a whack vigilante black panty spud with no skin.
Okay, that's just a straight up lie.
Shut up, nerds. I serve justice, so eat it.
Alright, you know what? That's the last fucking straw. Alright, I don't fucking need this. Alright, you, this, and tennis!
Nobody likes you. Not your brother, not your partner, not Scotland Yard. You'll die alone with no friends.
Yeah?
Except that needle in your arm.
You.
They build up Sherlock's last verse like it's going to be really devastating, but then...
I believe your parents' homicide is why you mask your face. You're shamed and traumatized and haunted by the vast disgrace of watching like a passive waste as mama died and daddy was dispatched with haste. Holmes, you've cracked the case. You're a batshit crazy basket.
Like, what kind of weak ass shit is that? I get dissing on him for his parents dying, but he just keeps on going after it. It's not even a good diss in my opinion. And the fact that he thinks he's so smart for figuring it out, it just makes him look like a retard. Why do so many people like this battle so much? It really isn't anything special, other than the fact that Snoop Dogg is in it. Which, if I'm being honest, isn't really that amazing. You can clearly see Lloyd was on his knees.
When I was high upon the mountain, God revealed the truths of the earth, but he never mentioned a fat-ass Papa Smurf. It takes 9 reindeers to haul your fat ass. You took the price out of Christmas and just added more mass. You need to stop breaking the houses and creeping them, peeping on naughty kids while they sleep. Hand me my chisel, I got a new command diesel for y'all. Thou shalt not let children sit on a grown man's lap at the mall.
So one of ERB's biggest problems, in my opinion, is that with some of their battles, they have repeated bars. And this battle might honestly be the worst case of it. He had 3 lines about Santa Claus being a fat ass, and 2 about him being a possible pedophile. However, the thing that I hate the most about this battle is that people will not shut up about Snoop Dogg being in it. The reaction channels come themselves, and for the people who rank the battles, would just start telling us the history behind it, instead of actually talking about the battle itself. This is what killed the celebrity cameos for me. Now I'm always dreading for the next one that appears.
Yo, here's the GPS! Who gets lost for 40 years?
Are you kidding me? This battle also has inaccurate lines. There are so many flaws with this battle that I seriously do not understand why so many people like it.
Douchebag joke. Like, there's no point in breaking down most of these bars. They have nothing to do with the characters. It's like you got a book of, like, insults to men, and then a book of insults to women, like, really basic ones, and you just slapped them into a rap. That's what this feels like. Still better than Prince's rap battles. Don't get it twisted.
They seriously had to waste one of the best beats in ERB history on such an uncreative, uninspired, repetitive, the most nothing battle. When people don't realize that the gender stereotypes are intentional and not something that Peter and Lloyd actually believe in.
You want a long time? Have it. In fact, suck your own dick and shave your own back.
This is the only stereotype I do not understand. I understand the blowjob part, but do guys ask women to shave their backs?
Is that a thing?
That apple's the best thing I've been so far. Now I see how much of a dick you are.
Are you seriously flexing about eating the fucking apple? They don't even bother doing anything witty with these stereotypes. They're just restating them in the most basic as fuck way.
So swing batter batter, show me what a fatter rapper could do. I beat cancer, I can sure as hell crack.
It's really not that good of a flex. It's great that you beat cancer, something Babe Ruth didn't manage to do, but you lost one testicle in the process. So in other words, you just gave Babe Ruth more ammo. Don't flex about it unless you made it out unscathed.
Just step to Ruth in the mic, I'll fan your fancy bike, and all you're out for 3 strikes and just 1 ball.
See, I told you.
It's such a dickhead color, isn't it? Not like the color, you know what I mean?
The color of a dickhead is pink.
Cool mustache, Wario.
How the hell does Wario and Stalin's mustache look similar in the slightest? They try to have the birthmarks say ERB, but in the video, it's just red smudge. The more I watch ERB, the more I realize that there's a handful of guest appearances that they completely wasted, like Snoop Dogg, Jenna Marbles, T-Pain, Daystorm, and in this case, PewDiePie. What was the point of getting him if you're not even going to have him rap?
Did somebody say real power? Da, you want to mess with me? I spit hot bars when I'm crushing these beats.
So fucking hot. Why the fuck is he dancing? I really hate that these season finales don't have the announcer say, and I would be fine with that if it was actually consistent. Because in Harry Potter vs. Luke Skywalker, they have the announcer say it.
This is part of the behind the scenes. We like to show you what we really do.
You fucking don't.
I mean, season 1 through 5's behind the scenes were short. Most of them were under 5 minutes. And none of them even made it to the 10-minute mark. And all of them, most of the time, are just montages, with the lyrics from the actual rap battle playing over it. They barely talked about the casting decisions, the effects, costumes, or anything like that. So don't bullshit with me, motherfucker! Hell, even in this video, you wasted time by just showing us the cast dancing. Why is every character either played by Lloyd or Peter?
I beat you twice, you sellout. Now you bow down to Mickey Mouse.
Technically, you are too.
Those your audience know that you stole your whole show. You just ripped off your teacher and added an F.
And after that, he hated.
My name is Pablo Diego Jose Francisco de Paula Nepomuceno Maria de los Remedios Cipriano de la Santísima Trinidad Ruiz y Picasso.
So glad he decided to waste time telling us his retarded ass name.
Stay all up in your grill like my name was George Foreman.
You mean the guy who was beaten by Al?
Beep, beep. Why don't you back up that trash? I leave you like listers, flat on your ass.
You mean the guy who threw the match?
You need to bounce back to North Carolina, kid, cause your rapping sucks more than Space Jam did.
Fuck you. Why are people saying that Key is doing blackface? 1, that isn't a thing. And 2, it isn't racist if a black person makes their skin darker. It's only racist if a person who isn't black makes their skin darker. How sad is it that this is the only battle with Trump in it that isn't biased?
It's so weird watching this one with the context of today. Trump vs. Scrooge was released in December of 2013, well before the real estate tycoon announced he was running for office.
Wake up, Scrooge! I'm about to take a dickens of a dog on this lonely, homely little miserable grove. I'm like the star on a Christmas tree. You're like the star. I'm not known for my heart, but you're still getting drunk.
Nice Peter's Trump is somehow worse than his portrayal of Batman. Because here, he doesn't even attempt to do an impression.
Harkening back to the dead Donald Fletcher, I still am expecting a final specter!
What the fuck was that scream? This battle just turned into a fever dream. Should you really end the battle with the typical
Who won? Who's next? You decide!
Because the structure of it is vastly different compared to the other ones. So it just feels out of place. You live in a city where all you have to do is take off your glasses and no one will recognize you.
You waste time debating creationists while I create the science you explain to kids.
I mean, yeah, it was a kid's show.
Yes, it's true. What I used to do is teach kids science on my PBS show, but now I do what I gotta do to make sure science ain't talking.
Like promoting Nintendo Labo.
Why don't you pick on the brain your own size?
I like how he's supposedly on Bill Nye's side, yet he just implied that he's stupid. Is Bill Nye trying to be the hype man?
I used to lie in my bed, finger on the record button of my little Casio boombox, and wait until an Al song came on and like press quick real quick. That was like the original download.
How old are you? But he was still able to raise kids though. Sure, they might have not been his own, but it's better than nothing. This battle is way too short. How do these turtle costumes manage to look better than most of the live action movies?
Anything else I can do for you?
So many people think the artist's first verse is fire, when it's really not. I'm not saying that they're bad, but they're just not that devastating. And why do the Ninja Turtles only get one actual diss? Kind of ironic when his actor's the shortest out of the four. Jim Henson doesn't get a shout out. Censorship.
That was one of the most tiring things I've ever done. Definitely one of the most tiring things I've ever done. Season finale, baby, gotta make it good.
Then why isn't it longer? I like how in the teaser trailer for season 4, they had Hitler as a ghost, since Darth Vader cut him in half, then having the Ghostbusters suck him up. I just wish they did more of this type of stuff with season 5 and 6. It just feels weird that those 2 seasons do not have a notable Hitler appearance. Why is it Winston in the thumbnail?
Well, there's only 3 Ghostbusters again. I mean, what's their problem with Winston? What are they, fucking racist or something?
A fucking Marshmallow Man is the best part about the battle.
It's like all my childhood dreams in one. If Batman were here, I'd be freaking out.
Well, let's just hope it wouldn't be your Batman.
I'm Batman. It's so bad. But yeah, you get the Velma and Scooby-Doo because, you know, Holmes and Watson. And now Sherlock Holmes is about to kick some ass real quick.
People dismiss a battle because it's too different. Is Cleopatra versus Monroe seriously the only good female-centric battle? Because the other ones are either dull, a cash grab, or haven't aged well.
Alex DeGeneres!
Fucking bitch, slut, whore, cunt.
I like cute things that make people smile. Make everybody feel good for a while.
You fucking don't.
I thought I told ya, your daytime reign is over.
So is yours, you fucking bitch, slut, whore, cunt.
I rock the Academy and the DGA. You rock as many Oscars as that slap Michael.
He has won a few rewards. Sure, not all of them are great to win, but still.
You the war of the world's a failure is what I label you. It looked like some sellout bullshit Michael Bay would.
Even Spielberg had to agree with that.
Scripts that I write ain't the cleanest. When I grip mics, I'm the meanest. Quentin Tarantino is a genius. A bad motherfucker from the wallet to the penis.
How did he get from the hallway to the moon?
AI is the worst wasted potential since the Ninja Turtle!
The most annoying thing about this line is just how many fucking people seem to have forgotten that the Ninja Turtles reboot is technically a Michael Bay film. Dumbasses.
Worst wasted potential since the Ninja Turtle!
Since the Ninja Turtles? But the Ninja Turtle movies are good. I liked the Ninja Turtle. I mean, they're corny as hell, but they're fun.
Jump up their violent rhymes like clockwork. Make you all hurt. Beat Spielberg, the color purple. AI is the worst wasted potential since the Ninja Turtles!
First off, he just lost points because you don't bring the Ninja Turtles into this, all right? You don't have to do Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles like that. Who was your favorite Ninja Turtle, by the way? I was Michelangelo. Favorite color's orange. I am taken, so sorry I can't post his profile on Match.com. Anyways.
That's one thing I've learned, bitch. This game is about motherfucking money. I make that dollar, y'all. Motherfucking money. Even make Mark Wahlberg make some motherfucking money. Shop, I got a few drops till I got milk money. Rose to the rock, now I got that socks made of silk money. I ain't got that guilt money. I don't give a fuck. Take my checks to the bank and I style them with my.
Say what you want about Michael Bay, but at least he knows what he is. He knows people will watch his movies no matter what. He knows he gets criticized for having racial stereotypes, objectifying women, overused plots, way too much explosions, taking a childhood franchise and fucking it all up, giving Transformers scrotums for some reason. But at least he owns it. He doesn't act like a pretentious asshole like most directors do. They should have done Bill and Ted versus Harry and Lloyd versus Wayne and Garth. That probably would have made this battle more memorable.
You can't be starting with Lewis and Clark.
I don't really like the introductory line. It just serves the same purpose that the title cards do, and just a simple rhyme scheme. I can only see this happening if there were a third-party rapper who people may not recognize at first and they want to introduce themselves. Like, if you have a third-party rapper who's not in the title, you may want to explain who he is in the battle if it's not completely obvious. But that's not what happened here, and in fact, the title cards came up about 4 seconds before this line happens. The announcer makes it clear that these people are Lewis and Clark, so I don't agree with the first line.
You're worthless. Your future self should have told you that.
Actually, the franchise has made over $85 million. Which, okay, might not sound like that much, but that wouldn't make them worthless.
Why don't you go back to exploring Napoleon's old swamp? Or you'll discover your corpse most triumphantly.
Motherfucker, don't act all intimidating. When you wasted time battle rapping the motherfucking Easter Bunny.
You hear that, Merryweather? I think they mean no brawl.
Wow, 2 starting lines in a row that aren't needed for Lewis and Clark. The only reason I see for this line existing is to distinguish which one is Lewis and which one is Clark. I see no other reason for the brawl part of the line to be there, other than to fill the void that is left by the Merryweather part.
You can get a free book.
Holy shit! You get a book?
That's kind of cool.
Got those slim fingers that were built for fights. You're a chunky stuntman, dressed in tights. You talk shit about your hero.
Irony.
When I was a child, you were a god to me. I had to do what you do. You talk shit about your hero.
You're too stupid to get the references.
I can move on to Jackie Chan, who I'll be picking apart your wall with my method, man.
Oh, brilliance! But painful for me.
Asian spitting sick, but no, this isn't so.
For creating the coronavirus, you chink gook.
I heard of your play. Tell me, how does it end? Oh yes, you get stabbed many times by your...
Irony. This is coincidentally Daystorm's second battle, with possible racial implications.
There's no use in murdering you and your heathen. You can grow my wheat for me after you're beaten.
I find it ironic how people want to get pissed off at this line, thinking of it as just racist, without realizing that Julius Caesar would enslave anyone regardless of race. Anyways, so people won't get mad at this line, but are completely fine with Zakazulu saying pasty white hordes. Not that I have a problem with that. I'm just getting sick of this type of hypocrisy. 2 minutes of this battle is just the outro. Ninja Turtles doesn't get a shout out.
I'll snap your turtle like a doozer stick.
But before will always be friends.
So get back to work! That's my time you're wasting! I didn't buy you for billions so you could play around to pay.
You're right. You bought them because your own movies fucking suck dick. Actually, DreamWorks and Illumination have managed to kick your ass in the box office.
I'm owning this battle! In fact, I own this whole series!
Not anymore, cunt. Why does Zach Sherman not have his shirt on?
And Squarespace helps millions of people build their own professional-looking websites, including Epic Lloyd himself. Hello. Lloyd?
Dude, what are you doing?
I thought you were going to come out of the shed.
Why would I come out of the shed?
Where would he even fit in there? I feel like this battle could have been a good video for either Black History Month or the 4th of July. Why does this one get a censored version, but the other ones with historical figures don't? When a verse has nothing but flexes.
Oh, Frederick, I've never heard a verse I dug less. Alright, I admit it, I confess. I participated in a broken system that I hated, but I needed to keep my financial status situated. And the words I used were hideous blot to describe the slave trade and the pain it hath brought.
Now he's just apologizing like a little bitch.
What if he outlined the harsh reality of what life for blacks could have been without the prize of liberty that Jefferson so cherished? That's the argument he needed to make back, rather than confessing to his flaws and kowtowing to Douglas, who still has a whole other verse left to continue berating him.
Douglas's last verse has one of the worst flows I've ever heard in ERB.
Found an absentee father. You had 6 babies with your slave mama and never even bothered to free you when you died on the 4th of July. It's a very important holiday, but what the fuck does it mean to this guy?
Hi, I'm Nice Peter. Welcome to the behind the scenes.
Next you'll be telling me Clark Kent is Superman.
And he sees us backstage. He's like, I love you guys. I want to be in one of your rap battles. He said, I want to play Frederick Douglass. And I just lost it. I was like, that's perfect.
That was a coincidence. James Bond says he only needs 1 round, but then he comes back with another verse, this time having a tantrum. Yes, you fucking did.
I'm one of a kind, you're always getting remade.
Just wait until you get remade, buddy.
But I'm the original model that you're free ass mimics.
No shit, it's a parody, dumbass.
It's the movie business and you've had your 6. The world has had quite enough rug-wearing misogynists.
That definitely wasn't forced at all.
Now you listen here, you little duck-faced
Duck face runt. Banner versus Jenner. The fact that this battle could have been decent if Jenner had less lines. How the fuck did they manage to piss off everybody with this battle? The fans don't like it because Jenner gets a lot more time at the end, and also because they are clearly trying to pander towards SJWs, and SJWs don't like it because they think they're being insensitive. That's quite the accomplishment.
beautiful women all up on my jock. I got a home gym, trick me on a cereal box.
Does anyone even eat Wheaties anymore?
Big green freak, don't try to
He says this after he literally just flexed. What the fuck is going on here? Shouldn't Hulk's background be something like New York, Planet Hulk, the lab, the helicarrier, or something like that? Why is he in the woods?
examine this under your microscope. You got no neck, but you still fucking
He has a neck? Are you blind?
You got no neck, but you still fucking choke.
I didn't need that. I did not need that.
What's that other one?
You look like a melted action figure of Glenn Close. You went from the Wheaties box to ugly bunches of gross.
You wanted to make this battle a teachable moment about acceptance, but then you wanted to have jokes like that in there. Look, I don't mind transphobic jokes, but it's pissing me off because I don't know what the fuck Lloyd and Peter were going for. They wanted to have Hillary win, yet they gave Trump the better bars. Even when they gave him self-deprecating lines, he still won. And even if Hillary had the better bars, I still would have picked Trump, because I hate it when they are biased in these rap battles. And actually, I want to talk about the ending, where Abe only slaps Trump. Now, apparently this is a reference to the fact that Abe said he would never hit a woman, or something like that. And fine, whatever. But how are you going to defend him flat out saying to Hillary to kick Trump's ass?
Oh, party foul. Party foul. He said candy wrap, Reese's Pieces. That is a pet peeve of mine. When people mispronounce Reese's. Reese's are a candy by a dude named Reese. And in case anyone was confused as to how to pronounce it, they made a candy called Reese's Pieces. Because you have pieces of the Reese's candy. And rather than people going, oh, I must have been saying Reese's wrong this whole time. I was saying Reese's, but clearly if they made a candy called Reese's Pieces, and they didn't spell pieces differently than it normally is, I must have been saying it wrong. Let me correct it. No! Instead they say, oh, let me say 2 words wrong now. Reese's Pieces! In what other universe is pieces said as Pieces? Fuck you, Ash! I'm already calling it Darwin wins just because of that bullshit. Anyway, back to this.
Lily Singh. I kind of wish they did Daredevil versus Stevie Wonder, because there's a stronger comparison between the two. You still get to do a superhero battle. There could have actually been a variety of disses. And we don't have to deal with this cunt. Rewind it. Rewind it. You fuck up. 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 You fuck up.
What if everyone wanted to go, oh, Wonder Woman today? Lily here on the set of Epic Rap Battles of History. And it is Wonder Woman versus Stevie Wonder. And I'm feeling good. It's a little bit off brand for me, but I'm feeling like, I think Stevie Wonder's going down. I'm just saying. T-Pain, I see you, dog.
No, you got your ass beat.
But also I would like to say, superhero costumes for women are just not realistic or practical because I can barely move in this. The leather is sticking to me right now. If you want to fight crime, wear some sweatpants and sneakers.
I don't think they make superhero costumes for women that are that different from men.
Go toe to toe with me, you bloated drunk old man.
He was born 16 years after you. So if anything, you're the old man.
I am the rhyme minister, fresh in a hat and dinner jacket. You look like a mix of Epic Lloyd and a Pringles pack.
So I'm fine with ERB having inside jokes for the hardcore fans, but I don't really like it when they reference themselves in the rap battles.
And then I try to tell you things, but you're too stubborn to understand. Like, dude, that is not a cool way to play Batman.
And this is not a cool way to play Thanos. What's your point?
Look at me, I'm Epic Lloyd. Check me out, I can't rap about my problems instead of solve.
You're the one who started this rap battle. There's no behind the scenes on this battle. Nice Peter does a pretty good Zuckerberg impression at the beginning, but then decides to do a Muppet voice for the rest of the battle.
Was a lieutenant commander to start, but I wouldn't expect you to understand an org chart.
I've been looking up your family. It could start. My God. Couldn't clean your daddy's laundry with a part-time pod. I'm Tony Stark with a James Bond sprinkle toss in. And I've been flossing since you double-crossed the Wigglevoss twin.
Flossing.
See, I've got the wrong room if you're looking for fear. Only thing scares me is a fridge with no...
You mean like this? Or like this? Or this? Or this? But what about this? Or this? Or this? Or this?
And I try to put this damn sign every time that says no drinks. I don't want any drinks around any of the props. I don't need your Dr. Pepper spilling over and then ruining the prop. And I put a sign up nice that says props, no drinks. God damn it. If they don't put their fucking drinks there every time.
Move.
We found that we're running out of dance moves at the shoots because they're just all starting to look the same, so I'm
flossing.
He's also told me many times, Wolverine is not a tall man. Wolverine is a untall person.
Are you trying to avoid saying the word midget? Because you have used that word before, so I don't see what the problem is.
And he was always bothered that Hugh Jackman, who is like 6'2" or 6'3" or something, took the role of Wolverine, because there's not that many superhero roles for non-tall people.
It sounds like a fucking SJW.
Howlett James, it's Wolverine's real name. That's his social security number, whatever the Canadian version of that is. ERB, that's us, positive blood type, religion none. And that is attention to detail.
What's the point if we can't even see it?
Rolling, so whenever. How was that in your nose? Awful?
Yeah. Revolt all you want. I don't give two guys fuck. Do not take me for some conjurer of cheap tricks. I don't give a fuck about your order of Phoenix.
That's how quick it happens. You leave one comment and it sparks a revolution. Huh?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
We've learned to be really open to each other's feedback, and if somebody else reads it and goes, we know now, we trust each other enough to take that seriously and to go, you know what? If he doesn't like it, I'm gonna take a look at it with a new critical eye. The rewriting process is where it's at. That's where you really make good stuff.
It seriously took you until season 6 to fully trust each other?
I've always wanted to be able to communicate ideas, and I've always wanted to be able to drive this rig well enough so that when Pete has to record, he doesn't have to like run around and back and forth. So I made it my job to learn how to do Pro Tools and to learn, at least in a functional way, these programs. It's much easier to get into character and like sort of vanish into another person's brain in the recording booth if you're not thinking about, okay, press this, okay, now do that, okay, don't do this. It's just nice to be able to speak that language and be like, oh, it's kind of like this, and then just lay it down and there it is.
This shit you guys should have been doing since at least season 2.
Give out of the terror, fresh Kangaroo era, ill rhyme slayer from the 60s era.
This is what I think. I think it sounded good on Guevara the Terror. I think on Fresh Kangle where it got a little crowd.
You say that, yet in the video it sounds virtually the same.
Give out of the terror, fresh Kangaroo era, ill rhyme slayer from the 60s era. Give out of the terror, fresh Kangaroo era, ill rhyme slayer from the 60s era.
In the behind the scenes of this battle, they show us that they were working on more than one battle at a time, so they can get them out more consistently. I wish they still did that, so maybe we wouldn't have to wait a fucking year for one. Having a special guest appearance halfway through a battle is really starting to get old.
I know what you must be thinking to yourselves. You're thinking Burger King and Ronald McDonald, that's not history, man. And to you, I would say, yeah, you might be right.
You have plenty of battles that don't have to do with history. That and your fans were also the ones who were requesting it. So why would they be pissed or confused about it?
I kind of miss the days that rap battles would put like gold rings and gold teeth and bring that sort of 80s flashy hip-hop element into the character.
Why? Is it because you actually like that era? Or is it because that's when your channel was actually popular?
By the backup computer. Don't put a drink by the backup computer. I don't care if it has a top. Don't put a drink by the backup computer. And if you're watching this, crew, stop putting shit on the props.
Move. Why are all the comedians in the thumbnail? It kind of ruins the surprise. And yet these dumbasses are still surprised when another comedian enters the battle. Like, did you just not notice them in the fucking thumbnail?
We have this Discord. Part of the Discord is a writer's room, and that's part of the Patreon. And we went in there to talk about this idea that we thought was complete, which was George Carlin versus Richard Pryor. Bill Cosby comes in, Joan Rivers roofies Bill Cosby, and then it's Joan Rivers versus Richard Pryor and George Carlin.
She ends it.
She ends it. And then all the people in the writer's room thing were like, what happens then? To them, it was obvious that Robin Williams was going to come in, and we were sitting there like, that's not the plan.
Yeah.
But okay.
We were going to have a cavalcade battle with only 4 characters. There's no Steven Hillenburg reference. Not even just a SpongeBob reference.
Now, I'm not going to pretend for even 1 second that I did a great French accent, because I didn't. But I did learn about the silent H thing, which I never would have done. They don't say here, they say ear. And that was really helpful. It helped like set a tone of Frenchness.
Next, the H sounds totally disappear, so you get appel, eight, and L.
Motherfucker, I can hear the H. Why is he swimming in the air?
Steve Irwin's always been a character on the radar, but it always felt like either too soon or too wrong. And just recently, it felt like this is the right time. I think it was a combination of the fact that his family's doing a new show, and it's not too soon anymore, if that makes any sense.
Doesn't matter the timing. You'll always get pussies in the comments saying too soon.
I got the wetsuit at a thrift store too, which, in retrospect, maybe is not the most hygienic thing in the world. You don't want to go for used skin gear, I guess. Lloyd wanted me to borrow his wetsuit, and I asked him if he pees in it every time, and he said yes, and I said, well then no. But then I went ahead and bought some stranger's used wetsuit that I'm sure they peed in every time.
Who doesn't pee in their wetsuits?
Regarding drinks on the props table, I also think people think it's kind of funny. In the last video, somebody opened a drink seemingly on purpose. There's gonna be a day when something gets spilled on that's gonna delay the day or cost us money, and I feel like I'm gonna want to say I told you so, and maybe I'll gloat about it, but at the same time I'll be annoyed because, alright, forget it. I don't want to get into it. It just gets me annoyed.
Move. There's no Castlevania reference. And no, the ending doesn't count. And there's no Fred reference? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Butcher men, women, and children like
Well, it's good to know that Vlad's for equality.
This mic still work after that blah blah blah?
I don't say blah blah blah.
Beat by Count Dracula. You're smoking Cracula. I dunk on your wackula. Raps like I'm Shacula.
I get that he's referencing the characters in Dracula's universe. I just wish it was written in a way that it didn't sound lazy.
Renfield! Yes, master. Call a doctor. Not so, because Vlad the Impaler has just been skewered.
How so? You barely even dissed your opponent.
Hold up! We have a sponsor on this video. Oh! It's the most ambitious RPG role-playing game of 2019. It's just been released and it's gonna change everything about mobile games.
Especially for me, because I haven't played a mobile game since Tetris on the TI-82.
Introducing Raid Shadow Legends.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh!
Oh! Enough, lad. It wasn't that funny.
Oh!
Get back to work!
I had a smoothie in the middle there, but that just did not cut the mustard.
Was it a blood smoothie?
Are you making jokes?
Yeah.
Well, you should have done that when you wrote your raps, cause...
Oh! You're the one who had the worst lines in the battle, bitch.
A lot of questions, obviously, about the props table. There was a suggestion to create a separate table next to the area where we have the issues and put just drinks table, and hopefully people will just do that. We actually ran short of extra tables. And you know what? I'm gonna be cool. I'm gonna be cool, man. Want to make their workspaces a dangerous haven for accidents? Be it. Let it be. Hey, drinks everywhere, dude. I don't even care, man. All right.
Move.
They all float, says the quote, but your films, they all sink.
First It movie made over $700 million in the box office, and the second made over $400 million. And even critically, they're doing well.
Cause you're weak and you've lost every fight. Good night, who wears underwear over his tie.
That's still not as embarrassing as losing to kids.
So unless you've got a yummy younger brother, I think you'd better run.
Pedophile.
To remain attraction every 27 years.
That's also how long it takes them to release these fucking videos.
Cause he just messed with the best wildlife rappers. It's a notorious B.I.G.
This might just be me, but I'm hearing an R instead of an I.
The notorious B.I.G.
This beat is made by Epistra. He's a producer we've worked with in the past, and he makes these great big...
Great beat, but Epistra looks like a total douche can in this photo.
triumphant orchestral...
And a douche in this one, too. But good beat.
We definitely wanted that bulge in the back of the head. Please don't do anything weird with that statement. I'm just saying that I like the bulge in the back of the head.
It's kind of hard not to when, for one, you point out that sounds weird, and two, talking about a bulge when it looks like Lloyd's face is covered in cum.
And then on top of that, we had the teeth, those buck teeth first. And then secondly were those sharp ass teeth. You get wax and you put it on the inside of those fake teeth and then you bite down on it and the wax molds around your actual teeth. So then you can actually talk and move.
No, you have done this teeth shit, both with Dracula and Wolverine.
So Joker was complicated because even though he wears a purple suit, it was starting to reflect blue.
So I was like, oh, that's no problem, we'll be on the green screen. And it was Morgan who pointed out to me, you can't be on a green screen, you have green hair.
How did you not know that? You have done that type of stuff before. I wish more behind the scenes would have skits in them. The Thanos costume is nightmare fuel.
And I burned the Avengers down to embers, sent half their planet to be slaughtered, and now I'm off in Oppenheimer like I did to my dog.
I swear, ERB has some of the weirdest flexes sometimes. This line.
You just got no answer for Fortnite's dopest dancer.
Why is ERB unable to hide their bias against Trump? Abe doesn't appear. And I know it's because Nice Peter's playing Joe Biden, but there has been battles where they played multiple characters. So I don't know what makes this any different.